this video, I fixed some of the audio issues that I had before, pit auto mode against pro mode, and have something you'll definitely want to do to protect your pocket, some thoughts about the wide angle lens, and a different inexpensive solution you can use instead. Check it out. So with the audio before, I figured out that it was in wind protection mode, which means the audio was going to go way down. So I was able to go into pro mode and turn that off and go ahead and adjust my audio. Now what's interesting is when you go into regular mode, there is no way that I could see anyway that you could actually adjust your audio or turn wind off, which is a real bummer. Of course, if you have the Pocket and you know of a way, let me know in the comments below. But I found the only way to really play with the audio was in pro mode. What's cool though, you can actually go into pro mode and have everything auto anyway. So pro mode is pretty much a default for me because regardless on what I'm doing, I'm gonna wanna adjust my audio. And if I wanna have auto for all the other features, I can do that in pro mode. Pro mode just gives you a lot more flexibility. Not sure why you would just turn on auto mode. With any wind with audio, it's really not gonna be that great. Unless of course you have a wireless mic or a lav mic or something like that. In which case it really doesn't matter what mode you're in because you're gonna get great audio. Here are the audio tests. Here's audio test just outside on auto. Okay, just to show you, this is what it is with auto mode. Again, boy, you pretty much have to have an ND filter on here to get any, otherwise, man, that's just blowing out. I just can't believe that's auto mode. And then you got those people that have those whole rigs in place. So it's supposed to be like this portable setup. And then through all the stuff they get, it makes it this whole big rig thing again. It's no longer portable. I started rucking because of Tim Ferriss. Tim Ferriss gets a lot of people to do stuff just because they see the benefits. Rucking's pretty cool because you can take a walk, and for that same walk that you might do, just putting some weight on in a backpack, you get a lot more exercise. Now this part gets me because here I'm going to show you something that happened right off the bat. Check this out. My phone. DJI, the phone go into. In looking at the setup, I don't think there's any real way to avoid any of that. If you're going to have this thing on a tripod, you definitely have to have some weight on that tripod itself. Otherwise, definitely it can be, thrown over pretty easily. Even if it's on a mini tripod, really close to the ground or really close on a table, it's so light that it just ends up being toppled over so easily. So definitely recommend, setting that thing up either with some sort of frame around it or going ahead and weighting down whatever tripod you've got. Any sort of sandbag is going to work on there, anything. A bag of any kind with some weight, just something to keep that thing from falling over. Definitely highly recommended. Last thing you want to do is damage your equipment. Want to avoid it, simple thing, put a sandbag or a bag on the tripod and you're good to go. I viewed other videos and they have put the wide angle lens on. I don't see that much of a difference. I'd rather spend the money on an ND filter and block out that sun than spend it on a wide angle lens. Instead, it's actually better, I think, to have something like a small mono tripod. And that's what I used out in the woods when I went. So here you can see the setup. Here you've got the Pocket 2 and then the ball mount, and this just allows you to curve so that when you're walking and talking, you have it curved at an angle that's going to work out for you pretty well. So that's what I did out in the woods, is I had this curved setup, and it gives me a lot wider view. My arm is out a bit if I want, or I can adjust it like this. It doesn't matter. Angle I want to get, I can get. And I can move around from side to side and go way up and way down and get all these different angles. And it's a lot of fun to use a monopod. You get a lot more versatility out of it than just having a wide angle lens. Not only that, but having it out on a monopod or something like that, so you're not going to block the audio ports. Because there's 4 audio ports, and one of the problems is people grab onto that, and then they just block the audio. So this alleviates that, gives you a better perspective, and allows you to get different angles at a moment's notice all along the way. So you can be walking and talking and moving over this way or that way, or maybe down or way up, and you can get all kinds of cool angles just from having a monopod. And then when you want to, you can just take the monopod, flip open the thing, set it down on the ground, make sure of course it's weighted down, but you put it down on the ground and then you just start talking. That's exactly what I did right here. I just set it down on a post and then just started talking. And it's great to have some walk and talks, but it's also good to just stop and talk a little bit and then keep on going. And again, monopods are great for getting all kinds of different angles. So I think this is a much better solution than just going and getting a wide angle lens. One of the things I noticed is that when I went into alter the white balance, it didn't have those presets for me. And I had to remember what Kelvin is outdoor sunlight or cloudy or indoors. And so I was forgetting exactly, but I remembered it was about, so I went with about 6,500 Kelvin. I remembered that being probably a safe bet because I was outdoors and it was sunny and somewhat shady here and there. So I thought I could get away with that. And the thing of it is, having those presets are actually kind of nice, but either way, it doesn't have those presets, which is kind of a bummer, but whatever. One of the other things I ran into over and over again was I wanted the setting of 1/50, and then I had it at 25 frames per second. And given that setting, I tried to keep my ISO really high. But the problem is with the woods and the way it was set up, and then you go into the high light, you can't keep it at 1/50 in sunlight. So of course you're going to need an ND filter, and I'll be getting one of those to basically have a better look and feel without having to adjust. So I can have those cinematic settings that most people find works pretty well. One of the huge benefits to using this, obviously, is the weight factor. And I love the fact that I can just take it out of my pocket and go and set it up. And if I have mini tripod stand and put it on a table or whatever, I can see a few things, or I can walk and talk with it and then put it back in my pocket. I really feel kind of, having a camera on in public is kind of, doesn't feel so natural. So having it as portable as possible and being able to just do some thoughts and then put it away when people start coming, it's really handy for me. I like that feature. And definitely not having to set up this whole big rig. I mean, there's nothing like setting up this whole big rig, and not only are you talking to a camera, but you've got this whole setup, and people are like, what the hell is going on? What is he come? And it just feels funny. So I really like the natural feature, because it's one of the things I love to do is just go out there and I'll have some ideas and I'll want to jot down my ideas. Well, now I can just whip out the Pocket and start talking. I can use those in later videos. Or I can just use it as a reminder for myself. Either way, the versatility there is huge. So if you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a like. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. See, isn't that weird? I'm just staying still and it just dipped down. It just dipped down again. Like it doesn't know where my face is. Maybe it's my glasses. I mean, what the hell? All these different things, glasses, and then I put my hat on. I mean, I guess all the different things kind of make it tough for it to track. I mean, it's my bald head. Okay, that's the end of the test there.